host this code was Troll, and Troll I've seen on stream before, or Cole rather, and I've seen him play on stream before, and he's played Cassidy, so it might be him.
So we've got Kayo with the Cassidy and Nimu with the Queen Nai. Neither players are going to play Wushang this match, but we are going to the Gravy Boat in round 1.
Yeah, so they're actually both sticking to their mains here, not playing anything too different. Yeah, Kayo is definitely cool, and he's playing on Cassie. Nimu on Queen Nai, opening up the guitars and looking for those down air strings, but Kayo finding some himself. Nice snares are coming out, and he throws for a neutral light, throws his weapon up instead of going for a recovery follow-up, and those are the kind of mix-ups that I'm talking about. Even though he can have some things that are probably much more guaranteed, he's going to be looking for some interesting mix-ups to go for some hard reads that might lead him into some more damage. But it's not working out too much yet, as Kayo having that damage lead. Gets hit by that neutral there, but other than that, it's playing quite safe with the guns and not really getting hit by any guitar strings. He switches up for a spear. I think that's kind of necessary. He tosses that spear downwards, and he's looking for a nair. Weapon toss again. Nimu going for a lot of those weapon toss strings.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm noticing right now, right, I feel like the spear would definitely benefit Nimu in the sense that Kayo here, he's using his movement speed advantage against Nai to basically bait him and space him into falling into these gun attacks, and he manages to take that stock.
I really like what Kayo did that. Okay, so in order to send him into that percentage of death, right, he was able to follow him off after a downlight on the guns into a chase dodge down sig, and then that chase dodge Sair from the hammer is what ended it. He was able to make it look like he wasn't close enough to KO his opponent there, and then made it actually happen, just using that momentum dodge, and that's really nice. KO now holding onto the down air, or onto the guns, using those down airs, goes for a D-light, and Nimu playing with the spears, trying to be able to get an end sig, but KO's spacing so well around that, he's able to get outside of the hitbox, then land with the down air to punish. Excellent pivot, neutral light, tries to go for a nair afterwards, but fails to pivot it. If he pivoted, it would have worked. And that ground pound just might KO. Yeah, he has to dodge out of the way of that spear, and he dodged the wrong way.
Yeah, KO managed to rack up a decent amount of damage there. I really like what he's doing. He's baiting Nimu, right? And I mean, it's very obvious here. He's putting out moves where Nimu's going to try to attempt to punish those, but because of his movement speed, ends up getting punished himself. That neutral sig is going to do a ton of damage.
Yeah, that's a really good read, too, because Nimu's been trying to go for a lot of down air startups, and anything that's got a diagonal hitbox towards the air, which a lot of neutral signatures do for a lot of legends, is going to hard punish that if they're not dodging, because Nimu was just standing in the air right above him, and that's just like, it's a free end sig. And now KO has got Nimu in kill percent once again, is trying to go for these downers, but Nimu's just trying to get a combo start up with these D-lights. It's not working. Nair falling, downlight coming out as well.
He is managing to rack up quite a bit of damage on KO, though. I mean, KO is unable to find a kill move, and because of that, Nimu is taking full advantage of that. He manages to land 2 Sairs, initially with a guitar, and follows up with the spear Sair, and that's going to give him the lead.
And that first guitar Sair was such a big deal because he hit him out of his recovery, so there was no way that he could come back there without a jump and a dodge, and that Sair was able to finish it. Nimu now took the lead, and you're right, he wasn't going for any guitar strings. He was just doing hit and run stuff, and it was working out as KO couldn't find the kill move. And now a neutral light and a down sig will secure that lead. Tries to go for a D-light startup, but it gets hit by a Sair, just barely missed that, and that mine went straight down. Doesn't matter, hits the Sair. KO evens it up 1-1, but this is a much closer game than it was at the start.
Absolutely. I'm looking to see KO take advantage of his movement speed and try and bait Nimu into these gun light attacks. He's looking like he's doing that already. He did manage to land a down light there, a couple Sairs. Damage is starting to rack up, but Nimu has KO on the side of the map, and that's not a good place to be when you're fighting guitars.
Ooh, that's Sair to be able to read his positioning. KO's found a lot of these pivot neutral lights, and that's a really big deal, but he's not being able to follow up with any nairs. But the neutral lights are so good because it repositions him in a place to where he can punish his opponent's landing, and it puts the hitbox in an area where he's not really expecting it. Eventually, it would hopefully be Nimu's job to adjust there, but as we see another pivot side light comes out, and KO is just running away with his lead. But Nimu getting a kill percent now. Ground pound connects.
That might kill.
Ooh, barely dodges through the down sig. Nimu is trying to get this down sig edge guard. Sairs are coming out too. KO's got the hammer though. A Sair from that might do it, but Nimu's defense is a little bit higher. He's on Queen Nai. Nice falling there. No recovery. Goes with the side sig.
Yes, that was a beautiful side sig read from Nimu. That was a really close match. Both players trading rather evenly. But Nimu, with that devastating side sig read, that's going to take game 1.
And that side sig read was so good because he knew that he wasn't going to get punished for it because his opponent was trying to go for a weapon, either the bomb or the weapon spawn, right? He saw those two things. He was like, even if the side sig does not hit, I'm going to be able to prevent him from picking up the weapon. So I'm either going to get the kill or I'm going to deny him a weapon or a gadget pickup, and he ended up getting the kill.
It was a win-win situation for him either way. Definitely a good play there. Going into game 2, Both players sticking to their legends. We are on Thunder Guard. It's the stadium, baby. You already know. But nimu killing himself. I think this map pick might have been accidental.
Yeah, and that happens occasionally. Sometimes players will ban out 2 maps, and then the other player will just pick the map regardless because they didn't read the bans. I've seen that happen actually more and more often lately. So it's something that's cool that players, I would hope, get adjusted to using, is that BMG has done a great job with the stage striking feature to add options to where, like, you can strike 2 maps as an individual, and then the other person could hover over a map, press strike the rest, and it will go to that map. And that's what I'd hope to see people use more often. But no, instead we just agree on the map here, and we're going into game 2. I think on Blackguard, but I didn't see. No, Twilight Grove.
It's Twilight Grove. I think this map actually benefits nimu because of that platform, but we'll just have to see. Maybe Kayo's got a strategy here.
Yeah, well, the map is a little bit smaller than the last one that they played on, but nimu opening it up with that unarmed combo there, and it gets a nice D-light. Doesn't get anything else off of it. It looked really flashy, but it wasn't too much damage, and that hammer actually still connecting despite the dodge. nimu trying to get in with some sort of D-light or Sair startup, putting out a few Sairs in the air to be able to space them up with the space of the guns, have longer range than unarmed, and nimu has to pick up a weapon, finds the guitars. Not much more range on these weapons, though, but a little bit of faster attacks. Throws to the side, gets the spear, but gets hit by another Sair. Kayo playing very, very safe right now, as he's only been going for falling Sairs and Nairs at this point. But a nice recovery punishes Kayo for dodging through the weapon toss, and now nimu picks up the guitars once again and finds a Nair.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell from Kayo here is his strategy appears to be rack up the damage with the guns, and then switch out to your hammer and use that for the force to get the kill. And that's a pretty good strategy. You can also see that Kayo, he's kind of baiting nimu to get close to him. He's not necessarily over-aggressing to the point where he can get punished, but he's putting himself close enough to where nimu will attempt to find an opening, and he can punish with, a light attack from the guns. Guns are really good at catching people with dares, downlights.
Oh, and not to mention that the way that Kayo's playing, when he's going off stage a lot, gun neutral airs are so good at stopping things from coming from above you. Normally, you don't want to, being below your opponent is a really big deal in this game, and that's how the devs have designed it. And when you're on the ledge there, and you're using gun nairs all the time, including that neutral sig and recoveries, like you hit so many. Oh my gosh, that side sig hits. Kayo doing such a great job of maneuvering around the map, and now he's getting all the hits, and that Sair will do it. nimu unsafely putting out that side sig and getting smashed in the face with that hammer.
So good. That was so good. Listen, he gravy canceled that side sig in the perfect position so that the hitbox just barely clipped over the platform and hit. He's now got a stock lead here. He's only in the orange. He has an opportunity to rack up a ton of damage on nimu and take this second game.
Oh, that bomb really went in.
He held him long enough for the bomb, but the bomb managed to do a triple bounce and disengage. If that had hit, that would have been beautiful. That was intentional.
And now we were looking at that stock, and it almost was a complete playstyle shift. Kayo went from playing around the side of the stage to almost aggressing towards the center stage, which nimu wasn't ready for. That's really interesting. I really like that, because people can say as much as they want about players' playstyles, but I think the most effective playstyle is the ability to adjust it. And that's exactly what Kayo did in this match. Is when he got the stock lead, instead of trying to maintain the style that he was playing, he just went in. And now nimu almost at kill percent again. Kayo's adopting that passive playstyle once again. nimu trying to go for the unarmed string, getting that ground pound. Nice neutral light into the horn, picks up the guitars, goes for a nair, is trying to get KO into kill percent. That side sig not hitting, but the second one does. It stops his side sig in a weapon toss. Will it force him to dodge? No, the chase down Sair does not come out. But KO doing a great job with these guns so far, but nimu might even this up.
I completely agree with your previous statement there, saying that it's great to have the ability to change your play style.
That bomb trade.
And adapt on a dime, because basically that I feel like that's the right way to play. Like, a lot of people will get upset and they'll be like, well, this player plays too passively, or this player does this or does that, right? You really just understand what your opponent is doing or what they are trying to do, and adapt to that and adjust your play style appropriately so that you can combat that.
Yeah, and all credits to nimu there, as he's doing the same. I really like that option that he did with the mine there, as he lobbed it upwards to force KO to dodge in place, and even though the mine didn't hit, his recovery did, and that got a KO off the top. But KO opening with these guns, which has been nimu's bane the entire match, already opening up with that D-Light Sair, has got him almost into the orange.
Yeah, guns are very good at racking up the damage. Not a lot of force, not a lot of kill potential, but definitely good at getting your opponent
Yeah, so Kayo's got a distinct playstyle that I've been seeing so far this game, which is that he does a lot of really great momentum dodge follow-ups after landing a move. Like that D-Light there, he's followed up with down sig, and in that time he followed up with an end sig, because he knew that his opponent was not going to dodge down afterwards. And he was able to get that hitbox off, and the recovery nearly connecting too. Nimu has got a chance to go here, but I'm just so worried, because if Kayo lands a move, he's going to go for some chase dodge follow-up that Nimu's not ready for, as most of them has been hitting it. That was a great dodge in there. Nimu tossing his guitars into his face, tries to get something started. I think Nimu's done more damage with unarmed and weapon tosses than anything else.
Yeah, it's really hard to find an opening against guns with guitars, I feel at least. That was an excellent opportunity for Nemo to secure a kill, but he was unable to find that follow-up that he needed there.
Oh, Kayo messing up that Sarah. I think he was going for a falling Sarah there and he was the other way.
Him. He was baiting him. Oh my god.
The first Sarah wasn't a bait, but that was.
No, the first Sarah was an accident. The second one was a bait. What he did was wow, I can't believe he even did that. That was nice.
I kind of want to say that it was really nice that Ensig between the islands, because there's nowhere that Nemu can go, right? You can't like go off stage past the island unless you jump over it. But that GC Ensig really punished Nemu, because Nemu was trying to go for the offstage guitar gimp, right? Like
and Kayo knew that. Kayo knew that if he positioned himself on the side of the map like that, that Nemu was going to attempt to land a guitar Sair or a guitar dare. And knowing that, he dropped down, gravy canceled a neutral sig, and Nemu ran right into that. And
if he didn't do it, I mean, even if he did do it and Nemu didn't jump down into it, he wouldn't have been punished.
He would have been fine.
Yeah.
He would have been, right, he would have been fine. So, both players evened up in this set. It's 1-1, game 3. We're on the Great Hall. Everybody's sticking to their original legends. And we've got the Guns vs. Spear matchup once again. Kayo manages to land a Nair, but can't follow up with the Dare. Not much damage going out just yet. We do get some bread and butter from Nemu, though, and that's going to do a bit of damage.
I really like how both these sets kind of ended in a really hard signature read that benefited both the other players, right? Nemu with that side sig to end him going for the weapons, Kayo with that GC end sig, but there it is again. I love that. That D-Light, chase dodge, end sig coming in from Kayo. He's got a lot of great options with Cassidy signatures here after some of these gun moves. He's really worked on this legend, and the follow-ups that he's gotten are absolutely destroying Nemu, because he's got him in the red again. Look at that, that pivot side sig coming out as he dodged forward, getting that KO, and then we're seeing some pivot neutral lights. I mean, he's really taking advantage of the fact that he can pivot almost all of these moves on the guns, and he's just rolling with it. He's got Nemu in a damage deficit on his second stock. This is looking like KO's lead, but let's not say anything. This happened in the first game, and Nemu was able to bring it back, and he's already doing it. Ooh, that end sig, so close.
That gimp there. Almost got that gimp there. But yeah, no, I really like what we're seeing from Kayo. He's been doing this for all 3 of these matches here, and his play style is heavily based off of baits. He's very good at baiting people. I like that.
And a lot of those baits come from the fact that he does one thing 2 or 3 times, and then he'll never do it again.
And then switches it up.
Yeah.
Right. I do the same thing, actually. I mean, I'm not on the same level as Kayo, but yes, very, very effective, very good strategy.
Oh my gosh. He went for the D-Light. Hey, look, that's an example we were just talking about. 3 times in a row after a downlight, he went for a neutral sig. So he expected Nemu to jump upwards, and instead of going for that end sig, he just chase dodged forward and jump naired. And that put him in a kill percent and gave him that recovery kill. Kayo, now 2 stocks ahead, not even in the red yet, is looking for that pivot downlight. Does not work out as Nemu gets the ground pound. Nemu trying to get that recovery kill, but he jumps into the mine. He forgot it was there.
I feel like we're watching a completely different matchup here. Kayo looking like he's going to get a 3 stock. It's really close. Nemu is unable to find any openings at all, and Kayo is exhausting every single opportunity he gets. Weapon throws, neutral airs. Nemu does manage to land that ground pound, though. That's going to take Kayo's first stock. But he's still at an entire stock advantage, and he's been absolutely dominating this match.
And it's almost been entirely with the guns, too. Like, we saw him going for that little, like, I'll rack you up with damage on the guns, then do the hammer thing, but then he was just like, wait a second, these guns are just completely destroying it. And I've always been of the opinion that, as strong as guns are, they are the strongest against Queen Naya. I don't feel like guitars or spear really have a lot of great options against guns. And Kayo
I feel like that has to do with Queen Naya's movements.
Yes, that's also a big
She gets caught in the downlights and the down airs.
And that ground pound just finishes, and look at the damage. Like,